Right now in Glasgow, the battle lines are being redrawn, and it's no longer just about what happens on Derby Day. The war between Rangers and Celtic has moved off the pitch and into the heart of the transfer market. The tension, the strategy, the maneuvering, everything is intensifying. And it's the blue half of the city that seems ready to strike first with a move that could send shockwaves across Scottish football. The Rangers, backed by ambitious new ownership and a complete squad overhaul, are not just trying to close the gap on Celtic, they're trying to flip the script entirely. While Celtic finished last season comfortably at the top, with a 17-point cushion separating them from their eternal rivals, it's becoming clear that the real fight is only just beginning. Under the leadership of Russell Martin and the financial muscle of For9 Ers Enterprises and Andrew Kavanagh, Rangers have been making moves with precision and purpose. But now comes the moment that could define the summer. A potential hijacking is in full swing, and if it goes through, it might just be the biggest statement of intent Rangers have made in years. Celtic had been closely monitoring a highly rated young star from the Serbian league, 18-year-old midfielder Andre Bakanin, a player not just tipped for success but earmarked by several top clubs across Europe as a future standout. But while Celtic watched, Rangers acted. Reports suggest that the Ibrox side moved at just the right moment, catching their city rivals off guard. Both clubs had made contact with the players' team FK Kukuritsky, and the Serbian side sporting director confirmed there was strong interest coming from Scotland. Ajax and Udinese were also in the frame, but it was the interest from Glasgow that stood out. And in particular, Rangers appeared to be the ones pushing hardest for the deal. This isn't just about signing a good player, it's about momentum. It's about sending a message that the power dynamic in Glasgow is starting to tilt. For too long, Rangers have watched Celtic dominate domestically, but this summer has felt different. 7 new signings already confirmed, including the permanent deal for Oscar Cortez and now the chase for a European prodigy. That could tilt the scales even further. Bakanin might not be ready to walk into the starting 11 on day one, but his attributes are exactly what Rangers are looking for in a long-term project. Calm on the ball, intelligent in possession with an eye for a pass, and the ability to dictate tempo from deep. This is the kind of midfielder that modern football demands. And Rangers know it. The recruitment is no longer about plugging holes. It's about building a future. Meanwhile, the pressure is also mounting up front. Hamza Igamain has attracted serious attention from clubs across Europe, and it's clear that Rangers are facing some key decisions when it comes to their attacking options. League One side Rennes are reportedly keen on bringing the Moroccan striker in. And they're not the only ones. Everton have been sniffing around for months, and there are whispers of Feyenoord monitoring the situation as well. Even Serie A's Udinese have made contact. Igamain arrived at Ibrox for around £1.7 million and returned 16 goals in his debut season, a solid return by any measure. But now, with the player valued at £15 million, Rangers are being tested. French side Lille reportedly agreed personal terms with the forward, but backed off when it came time to match the asking price. Rangers are holding firm, and they're right to do so. If a club wants him, they'll have to pay. And it's not just Igamain. Cyril Dessers, another name in the Rangers forward line, was expected to leave for AEK Athens weeks ago, but once again, the deal hit a wall. The Greek side offered $4 million, Rangers want $5 million. It's a game of patience, but one with big consequences. Because as long as both forwards remain on the books, any incoming moves like the pursuit of Israeli forward Dor Turgeman remain in limbo. Turgeman has been high on the wish list for Russell Martin, and the player is reportedly open to the move. He sees the Scottish Premiership as a step forward, and he wants to wear the blue shirt. But Maccabi Tel Aviv are playing hardball. Their manager Zarko Lazatic made it crystal clear that only a fairy tale offer would convince them to sell. $4 million has already been knocked back. The asking price is closer to $5 million. It's not a massive gap in theory, but for Rangers, it's the kind of number that can break a deal. And that's the reality of their current position. Every pound matters. Every negotiation is carefully calculated. The club can't afford to gamble, especially when building a squad for both domestic and European ambitions. The Champions League qualifiers are about to begin, and Martin needs to know who he can count on. Still, despite these financial constraints, Rangers aren't sitting still. The rebuild is in motion. The intent is clear, and more importantly, the belief is returning. After a long spell watching Celtic lift trophies and dominate headlines, Rangers fans are seeing signs of something new, something bold, and something that might just tip the balance. The arrival of Bakanin, should it go through, would be more than just a clever bit of business. It would be psychological warfare. to snatch a player from under Celtic's nose, a player they've been tracking, who fits their style, their system, and their long-term vision would sting in ways that go beyond the pitch. It's about bragging rights, but also about identity, about who leads Scottish football into the next chapter. Of course, nothing is done until the pen hits the paper. But as things stand, Rangers are ahead in the race, and the noise coming out of Serbia suggests a deal could be wrapped up in the next 10 days. That would be a massive coup, a real marker laid down, and it would raise expectations for the season ahead dramatically, because with or without that signature, the momentum has already shifted. Celtic are still the team to beat. They've earned that right, but Rangers are moving smart and moving fast. Every signing, every rumor, every negotiation feels strategic. There's a new confidence in the air, and it's contagious, and fans can feel it. You can hear it in the pubs, you can see it in the queues for the new kits, and you can sense it every time a name like Bakanin or Turgeman gets linked. There's a buzz again. And this isn't just a summer rebuild, it's a declaration. Rangers are back in the hunt, and they're not afraid to go toe-to-toe with Celtic on and off the pitch. So what comes next? Can they find the extra million to land Turgeman? Will Igamain or Dessers make way? And can they get Bakanin through the door before anyone else swoops in? The window's far from over. And with Champions League football on the line, every day matters. But one thing's for sure, this is shaping up to be one of the most dramatic and defining transfer periods Rangers have seen in years. And if they pull this off, if they land their targets and set the tone early, Celtic might finally have a serious challenge breathing down their neck again. The rebuild is real. The ambition is real. And this summer, Glasgow might just belong to the blue side again. But the transfer market is never just about names on a sheet or price tags in the headlines. It's about timing, influence, and nerve. And right now, Rangers are showing they've got all three. While Brendan Rodgers' Celtic are still seen as the standard bearers, especially after lifting the domestic double last season. The energy and aggression coming from Ibrox this summer cannot be ignored. It feels like we're witnessing the early stages of a proper power shift. And not just because of one or two flashy signings. There's structure now. There's planning. There's a very deliberate attempt to build a team not just for the next campaign but for the next era. Russell Martin has stepped into the role with real authority. For a manager who's never led a squad at this level before, he's handling it with confidence, clarity, and a clear footballing identity. His targets aren't random. Every name that's surfaced, whether it's Igamain, Dessers, Turgeman, or Bakanin, fits a vision. Players with technical skill, work ethic, versatility, and in many cases still room to grow. Rangers are chasing not just results but evolution. And with the backing of the new majority shareholders, the 49ers Group, it's clear there's more money, more ambition, and more patience than in previous windows. You look at Bakanin again, this is an 18-year-old who's already drawn eyes from clubs like Ajax, known for developing elite midfield talent. Udinese are in there to no strangers to snapping up undervalued gems from Eastern Europe. The fact that Rangers are not only competing in that space, but potentially winning the race shows how far the project has come. And if they close this deal, the message it sends will be loud and clear. This is no longer the same Rangers that was just chasing shadows behind Celtic. This is a Rangers team that's willing to fight for the top prospects and beat out serious European competition to land them. But as much as Bakanin would be one for the future, there are still pressing questions about the immediate squad makeup, particularly up front. The forward department remains in flux, and that's perhaps the biggest hurdle Martin has to clear before the European qualifiers. You can't move forward with 3 or 4 strikers all half-linked with moves away, and no clarity on who stays and who goes. It creates uncertainty not only in planning but in dressing room dynamics. Players need to know where they stand. Managers need to build chemistry and rhythm. That's tough to do when you're waiting on deals to materialize. Take Cyril Dessers, for example. His spell at Ibrox has been inconsistent, moments of quality mixed with long spells of anonymity. The club knows they need more firepower, especially with the demands of Champions League football on the horizon. AEK Athens looked like the perfect escape route, and even the player seemed ready to make the move. But again, it comes down to value. Rangers are holding firm at $5 million, and the Greeks are unwilling to meet it. So what happens now? Do Rangers cave to get wages off the books and open a spot in the attack, or do they risk holding onto a player who clearly isn't part of the long-term vision? Then you've got Hamza Igamain. The Moroccan international has shown real flashes of brilliance and was one of the few bright spots last season. 16 goals in all competitions from a player adjusting to Scottish football is no small feat. And now the interest from Rennes, Everton, Udinese, and Feyenoord shows just how much his stock has risen. But here again, Rangers are facing a valuation challenge. They want 15 million. Lille balked at that. Rennes might be tempted, but only if they shift one of their own forwards first. It's a delicate chain reaction and Rangers can't afford to wait too long, and yet waiting is exactly what they're doing in the case of Dor Turgeman. The Israeli striker has been a clear target for weeks, and the player has reportedly given a green light to the move. But the hold-up is textbook transfer market deadlock, no sales, no space. Maccabi Tel Aviv are in no rush. They've got their number, they've got the leverage, and they're not shy about it either. Lazatic has made it clear that unless Rangers come back with something special, the door stays closed. The reported £4 million offer is still short, and with Champions League qualifiers knocking, Martin might be forced to make a decision sooner than he'd like. It's a bit of a catch-22. Rangers need to strengthen to boost their chances in Europe and at home, but to strengthen they need to sell. And with clubs dragging their feet and lowballing bids, it's a painful waiting game. That said, there is belief inside Ibrox that some movement is coming. The interest in Bakanin is too widespread for nothing to happen. Someone is going to blink first, and once that domino falls, the rest could follow quickly. But for now, the club remains locked in that frustrating middle ground. So close to finalizing their plans, but not quite there yet. In the meantime, Russell Martin is doing what he can with the squad he has. The players are already deep into preseason prep with the Champions League qualifier against Panathinaikos just around the corner. The Greek side will pose a tough test, and Rangers can't afford to stumble early. That's why there's a real sense of urgency in the halls of Ibrox right now. The margin for error is tiny. Get it right and this could be a transformative season. Get it wrong and the gap with Celtic could stretch even wider. But it's not all stress and question marks. There are positives to cling to. Oscar Cortez staying on a permanent deal is massive. His loan spell showed he has the tools to become a key figure, and locking him in was smart business. Likewise, the early signings this summer have added depth and energy. It's not just quantity, it's quality too. Players who fit the mold of what Martin wants to build: younger, hungrier, technically adept and tactically flexible. And beyond that, there's something else brewing. You can feel it in the supporters. There's excitement again. Not blind hope, not desperation. Real belief that something good is taking shape. That this isn't just another stopgap summer, but the foundation for a stronger, more competitive future. And when you combine that energy with the work being done behind the scenes, you get the sense that this might be the year Rangers truly start to push Celtic to the edge again. Because while the boys have the trophies, the accolades, and the recent dominance, they're not without their own questions. Squad depth, managerial continuity, player motivation. Those things can shift quickly, and if Rangers keep building smart, keep pressing, keep landing players like Bakanin or Turgeman, it only takes one good run to flip the narrative. But first, the deals need to get done. Rangers have laid the groundwork. They've made contact, held meetings, agreed personal terms. In some cases, now it's about finishing, about pushing past the last obstacles and closing with conviction. The season waits for no one, and if Martin wants his vision to come to life on the pitch, the final weeks of this window are absolutely critical. There's no hiding it. These next few days could shape everything: the tone of the season, the mood in the stands, the pressure on Celtic, and the belief inside the Rangers dressing room. One big signing could lift the whole project. One out-door transfer could unlock the next phase. That's where we are now, right on the edge, a tipping point. And as always in football, nothing is guaranteed. Offers can be rejected. Players can change their minds, agents can muddy the waters. But for once, Rangers seem ready for the chaos. Ready to outthink, outbid, and outfight their rivals, not just across the city, but across the continent. The process might be frustrating, the waiting might be painful, but the destination that might just be worth it if Bakanin arrives, if Turgeman is secured, if the dead wood is moved and the squad sharpened just in time for European battle, then this might not just be a promising rebuild, it might be the start of something special. And in a city like Glasgow, where football is everything, that kind of shift can echo for years. For now, it's all about timing, persistence, and precision. The blue side of Glasgow is ready to make noise. And as the final pieces begin to fall into place, don't be surprised if the roar from Ibrox shakes the foundations of Scottish football once again. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers are swirling around the football world as rumors emerge suggesting that Nathan Patterson, the promising right back, could be on the verge of sealing a deal with Rangers FC. While nothing has been officially confirmed yet, sources close to the club hint that talks have been progressing positively, sparking excitement among fans eager to see fresh talent bolster their defensive lineup. Patterson, who has been making waves with his performances in recent seasons, is reportedly attracting interest from multiple clubs. However, the Rangers' potential move for the young defender seems to be gaining traction, as the Scottish Giants look to strengthen their squad ahead of the new campaign. Insiders say that the club's management sees Patterson as a perfect fit for their tactical plans, bringing energy, speed, and solid defensive skills to the backline. Although details regarding the transfer fee or contract length have yet to leak, the buzz around this possible signing has already created a stir on social media platforms. Supporters are eager to welcome a player who has shown versatility and maturity beyond his years, qualities that could significantly enhance Rangers' competitive edge in both domestic and European competitions. Should this transfer materialize, it would mark an important step in Patterson's career, moving to a club with a rich history and passionate fan base. It also signals Rangers' ambition to invest in young talent as they aim to challenge their rivals and continue their pursuit of silverware. The coming days are likely to bring more clarity on this situation, with fans and pundits alike watching closely for any official announcements. For now, the speculation is enough to keep the Rangers faithful buzzing with anticipation. Nathan Patterson's potential arrival might just be the spark needed to ignite the team's campaign and bring a fresh dynamic to the squad. As this story develops, it will be fascinating to see how it unfolds and what impact the young defender might have on the Scottish Premiership's landscape. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.